Hello again, everybody. It's Triple M here to get Eyefinity on yet another game. But before we do, I'd like to thank a specific website for their interest in my work. They have already aired maybe 5 or 6 of my videos, and I thank them to death for it. I've even re-edited it to have the website at the end of the videos in my credits section. But it was during this video that I got contacted about doing some work for them. And I'd like to thank them personally right now. And I promised I would never cut to myself like all those other video bloggers do. Broke my own rule. Well, it's for a good cause. Hello, Geeky Universe. I am so incredibly, insanely happy that you have taken interest in my videos. I've already enjoyed working with you, and I hope to for, say, many decades to come. I and Eyefinity behind me will hopefully entertain you, your audience, and anyone whose interest is piqued even in the most minuscule of amounts with our usual brand of classy, sophisticated, and highbrow sense of humor. And now I'd like to introduce a new segment into the show called the 38-minute fart joke. So then she licks the plate, shoves it down her thong, stands up and goes, "Let's get this tango lesson started." Thank you. Alright, so what game are we putting into Eyefinity today?
Batman Arkham City. I will say I'm a fan of Batman, but I've never read one of the comics. So maybe it was the TV show. Nope, too campy. Super Friends? The name alone made me hate that. The movies. Well, if you weed out any work done by Joel Schumacher, yes. But it was the animated series that got me loving Batman. Platonically. It was well drawn, well animated, and the stories kept you involved until the budget cuts were made and the Joker went from looking like this to this. Any shred of storyline couldn't be saved by these lackluster versions of what the animated series was. At least as far as I was concerned.
There it is. Basically states, fair use law says I can use copyrighted material if I'm using it to prove a point or for acts of criticism. I think I just did both. Now, as a native Chicagoan, I'm kind of pissed that it's no longer Gotham City as far as The Dark Knight Rises is concerned. If there's one city that could definitely prove itself as a Gotham City full of crime and corruption, it should be Chicago. But whatever, I guess Pittsburgh is the new Gotham City now. But I did hear rumor of a superhero taking up residence where Batman left off.
A hero watches over us. A hero like no other. One who lives for crime's eradication. He is the one to make sure morality resides within good. Criminals run in fear of his patchwork trench coat. He is the one to pull out all the stops for truth. He wields the sword of sharpness. His fingernails shine like justice. With a voice that is dark like tinted glass. One who is infinitely tormented by wrongdoing. He's willing to give 110%. Sandals but no socks. Some say he is the messiah of all heroes. There is only valor beneath his drench. One who can take out his contact lenses whilst taking a leak. He is Sandals Trenchman.
Have you stolen anything today, citizen?
Nope.
Good work, citizen!
Man, that is one superhero right there. He looks so dark and tormented, and I have to wonder who he is. Wink!
Why the hell do I have all this game footage? Oh, that's right. I was reviewing a game. Batman Arkham City. The premise is a large portion of Gotham City gets walled off and turned into a gigantic prison. All the usual villains are there, and it seems many other types of criminals were shipped in from all around the world. Bruce Wayne, not Batman, gets thrown into this prison by Dr. Hugo Strange and has to figure out what the project known as Protocol 10 is. He also has to become Batman and figure out how Dr. Strange found out his secret identity.
I think it's time to announce a small format change to my little show here. I'm just going to go ahead and review PC games. I got a really good template to do it, and I greatly miscalculated the number of Eyefinity gamers out there. Plus, this technology is getting a lot more recognition, and the more and more games I play come with native support, such as this one. So, I'm just going to review games. If there's any difference with Eyefinity or anything, or any problems with it, I'll definitely tell you at the end, like I have been doing, but, I'm not going to focus on it from now on.
Besides, when I was running this in Eyefinity, the game was moving so slow, like half the normal pace with a small delay on the controls. It is a graphically intensive game, I'll give it that, but when I was running it normally on one monitor, it performed as smooth as silk. I think Eyefinitus is trying to tell me he wants me to feed him a new graphics card.
And you're not getting one, because I don't have any money, you damn computer,
I mentioned this is going to be a review show now, so here goes nothing. Graphics, 10 out of 10. Very, very realistic and beautiful graphics, even though most areas you end up in are quite dingy and polluted. But that was the atmosphere of the game, and it captured that perfectly. Sound. I'll give this one a 10 out of 10. My favorite thing about the sound was the fact that you got to hear the characters' voices from the old animated series. Most notably Mark Hamill as the Joker and Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn. They sound as good as they used to. Other than that, the environment and fight sounds coupled with the music just amplifies the atmosphere perfectly. Controls. 5 out of 10. The fight controls and moving around were just fine. As for the other 50 things you need, I would prefer to have a utility belt peripheral. I use an Xbox 360 controller on my PC, and as far as I've read, the controls are exactly the same as on the system. I'm not a fan of the D-pad being the menu screen on those games, however. I would rather pause and go to one, especially when sometimes you have to hit a direction button twice to get to different items. It was too confusing with me, and it never did click, and more often than once got me killed. Gameplay, 7 out of 10. If you stick to the rooftops, you'll be fine. If you go down to the streets, groups of criminals will attack you. It's pretty seamless how you can go from one to the other if you're getting killed in a fight. The slower, more detective-like parts of the game reminded me of a slowed-down Metroid Prime. But as far as that goes, there was only one good Metroid in my opinion, and that started with Super. Multi-monitor support. 10 out of 10 because of the native support nature of it all. But as Eyefinitus showed us, you're going to need a faster graphics card than my little ATI 5750 in order to get the most out of it.
I think I gave this game a pretty good review, all things considered, because, in all honesty, I didn't like this. Now, that doesn't mean you won't like this game. I enjoyed it to a point. You got to be Batman in a big open sandbox world. You had the old actors from the animated series doing all the voices and everything like that. But maybe it was when you'd go from fighting to slowing down CSI style, I'd often get stuck and I couldn't figure out what I needed to do. I had to look up things online, and I hate doing that. I like to figure things out from my own. I come from the Nintendo generation, after all. We had instruction booklets. So I see why it is a good game. The reviews out there are amazing for this game, and I can see why they are. There's a lot to do, it's very unique, and it shouldn't bore you at all if this is your type of game, but it isn't mine. So I'm sorry if I did not like it. Holy shit, it's new Cybot from Mortal Kombat. Are you bad-mouthing Batman Arkham City in my presence, citizen? That's where I learned everything I know. I didn't like the game. You may not like the game, citizen, but just saying that is going to decrease sales in it. You shouldn't say things about a game like that. It's a very well done game, and it's very nice.
and very pleasing to the eye.
That's fine and dandy. But you're not real? You're not real. Why isn't this working?
You drew a picture of me, which means I have a soul now.
Damn it. He's 100% exactly correct about that.
I know what we can do now, citizen. I can give you my new special move. The Ultra Super Smashy Sword and Sandal Smack Attack.
That's the name you went with for your special move?
Until you like this game. Come here.
What? Cut it out. Go.